So guys, all those photos were taken using an iPhone, and in this video I'm going to show you the best camera settings that you need to do to take such professional looking photos on your iPhone. Now, I used to be a person who used to take my mirrorless camera everywhere I go, and I used to get caught, in some places which I'm not allowed to shoot. So all these issues happens, once you have a DSLR camera or a mirrorless camera with you. But the iPhone these days, damn, look at the photos that you can take with your iPhone. So you don't actually need a professional mirrorless camera to take some of the shots that you need, but certainly you need to tweak certain settings to really get that professional looking photos. Now I'll be showing you all the settings that I use, but mainly all these settings are for the Pro iPhones, but certainly other iPhone users can follow along. The main settings that is only available in the Pro series and not in the normal series is the Pro RAW feature. So that is the only difference that you need to know, but other all settings you can leave as I show you in this video. So let's come to the settings and let's come to the camera. So let's go one by one. So this is the camera control, so that is the button right here. So I've just set it to default camera. Now the photographic styles, there are various options like standard, amber, and you can even customize different settings that you want, but I don't touch this one. I just leave it at standard because I like to do all the further editing later. So all further editing I'll be doing it later on Lightroom, which I'll be showing you as well. Then you come to record video. I've left it at 4K 24 fps. 24 fps is the most natural looking cinematic frame rate, so I've set it at 4K at 24 fps. But if you're someone who does like commercial or Instagram more often, you can also set it at 4K at 30 fps, but I personally prefer at 4K at 24 fps. Then record sound, this is up to you actually. I left it at stereo, but you can leave it at mono or spatial audio. These all are just personal preferences. I've left it at stereo. Then this is the most important thing, that is the formats. So I've left it at most compatible in the camera capture, and then the photo capture, the photo mode, I have left it at 24 megapixel, which is the maximum. And then this is the main switch that you need to turn it on. This is the Pro RAW feature, which gives flexibility to edit your photos. And in the Pro RAW format, I left it to JPEG XL lossy. These both are really good settings, so I've set it to JPEG XL lossy. Then you come down and this is the video capture settings. So if you're someone who wants to take cinematic videos, you can turn on this feature, and you can also enable the ProRes encoding to the log profile. So these are mainly the photo settings that I'm going to be showing you. Then once the format is done, then let's come to preserve settings. In this I leave pretty much all on except the depth control, which I don't really use, and also the action mode also, which I don't use. So rest all I just leave it on. So all these settings will be preserved, so which means is when you exit the camera and open it once again, all these settings will still be whatever you left it at. Then this use volume up for burst, I leave it off. Scan QR code on. All these show detected text on. Then comes the important thing, the composition. Make sure your grid is on, so it'll be easier to do perfect composition for your photos. Also I leave the level on. These two settings I leave it off. I don't like to mirror the front camera, so I leave it off. And also view outside the frame. So what it does is, once I turn this on, even these portions are in view, so I don't like, it's kind of distracting, so I want to leave this black. So for that I just leave this view outside the frame off. Then the indicators, you can choose which all indicator you want in your camera layout. So I just leave flash on. I don't like this live feature, so I just turn it off. And also the action mode is on. This is only for the video. Then the fusion camera, I leave it at this particular setting. I turn on 28 and 35, and the default lens I have chose to 24mm. Then portraits in photo mode, I turn it on. Prioritize faster shooting on. Lens correction is on. So what lens correction does is, it sort of corrects any distortion if it happens. so it automatically does in the software. Then macro control is also, I leave it on so that once you bring your phone closer to a subject, it will automatically enable macro, which is super useful, especially if you want to take macro level shots. Then this is the new feature in iOS 26, which I already mentioned in my previous video. So lens cleaning hints means if your lens is dirty, it will automatically show in your camera that your lens is dirty and do the cleaning. Then this is by default, save capture to photo library. This is for the messages. So you can, if you take a photo in the message, it will save up to your photo library. So you can leave it on or off, up to you. So that's the settings that you can find here. Now let's come to the camera. Now here you can find, if I click this one, I left it at RAW and 48 megapixels, so it's the maximum resolution, but it takes a lot of space, so just keep that in mind. Then here I have these settings. So I have flash, live, I disable it, timer if you want to. This is the most important thing that I do. In exposure, I just leave it at negative 0.7 and I bring up the exposure in the edit. So I just leave this exposure at negative 0.7, and the aspect ratio I leave it at 4:3, and the night mode I leave it off. So that's pretty much it for the photo mode. And under video mode, just in case if you want to know, I leave it at 4K 24 fps, but if I'm shooting cinematic stuff, I change it to log and again 24 fps. So now let's edit a couple of photos and let me show you how easy it is to edit your iPhone photos to make it look very professional. Now this is a photo, simple photo taken using all those same settings that I showed you. Now all I do is I open Lightroom and this photo is imported to Lightroom. And the very first thing I do is I apply my preset. It's called Misty Roads. So as you can see, it's pretty dark. So as I told you, the exposure I leave it low, but here what I do is I increase the exposure like so. Very minimal adjustment which I can make, and maybe I bring the highlights down to a little bit, increase the shadows. If you think it's too warm, you can adjust the white balance to a little bit like this. Very easy, right? Okay, now let's go to the next photo. So this is another photo, again taken using the same setting. Go to preset, Misty Roads. This is my preset, so the link is available in the description. Just like that, it really looks amazing. So if you think the exposure is a bit too low, I just increase it to a little bit. Super easy. And maybe increase the shadows to a little bit. Then let's come to the next photo. So now if you want to check out my presets, I will leave a link in the description. You can check it out. I've been receiving a lot of good reviews for this preset, and as you can see, it's super easy to edit. It makes your photos look really professional and make your editing workflow super easy. Now you know why I turned on the grid. The grid is very important, especially if you take photos. You see these lines, so it will be easy for you to frame shots like this. So I made sure with the help of grid that the framing that you get is absolutely perfect. Now again, same step. Let's come to my preset here, Misty Roads. It's a bit too warm and I think the exposure is a bit too high, so let me just reduce it. As it is, it's looking super nice. You can see the before, after. Then let's come to a frame like this. It's an indoor shot, so again, preset, Misty Roads. The specialty of this particular preset is it works with all shots, indoor and outdoor. So as you can see, as it is, it's looking pretty nice. Let me just reduce the exposure to a little bit, like so. Now you can see before, after. Now let's try this one. This is again an outdoor shot. It's pretty well exposed, so again, presets, Misty Roads. Now it's super dark, so you can increase the exposure to your liking, something like this. Reduce the highlight, increase the shadows. Very minimal adjustment that you need to do once you have this preset. So before, after. Now let's take a night shot, for example. Again, I'll apply the preset, Misty Roads. Wow. Now let me increase the exposure to a little bit and the highlights. Now I think the blue in this shot is a bit too much, so what you can do is come to color, under color mix, take the blue channel and just reduce the saturation. Okay, you have two blues, one is the teal one, so I'm going to reduce the saturation and I'm going to reduce the teal saturation also. Wow, just look at it, before, after. So I hope you guys learned something from this video. That's pretty much it for this video. For those who don't know, I'm Fenzer. I do travel, tech and filmmaking on this channel. So if you're into that sort of stuff, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Thank you all for watching and I'll see you all in the next one.